Fasten your seat belts.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೈರ್ ಗೌಡ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ರೈಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಮೋಟೋ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಆಫ್ ರೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೈಲ್ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಮಳೆ ಇದೆ. ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಚಿಕ್ಕಮಂಗ್ಳೂರು ಫೀಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರೇ ಫುಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ವೈಫ್ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಗೆರಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮು ಈ ಥರ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯೆನ್ಸು ನಮಗೆ. ಹೋದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು. ಹೊಸಕೋಟೆ ಟೋಲ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಂದು 30 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರ್ ಯಾರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸ ಹುಡುಗರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇವರೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. Are you guys for Mango Moto? Yeah. Okay.
ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದವರಲ್ಲ ನಾನು
ಯಾವ ಎದುರು
ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಹಾಂ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಮಚ್ಚ. ನಿಂದು ಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, 3 ಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಭವನ. ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಸದ್. ಏನು ಹೈಟ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಗಾಡಿ ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಲ್ಸು. ಹಾಂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಬಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಗಾಡಿನೇ. ಸೈಲೆನ್ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಮೋಟೋ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರು. ತಾಲ್ ಅದೇ ವೈಟ್ ಕಲರ್. ಫೈನಲಿ ರೀಚ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಮೋಟೋ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಸೈಡ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕೋ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಆಫ್ ರೋಡ್ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬೀಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟೆ ಫುಲ್ ಕಾಲು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಅಗಿ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ನೋಡು ಒಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತು.
Yeah, before we start, can we have a little bit of introduction session so that we all know each other? It's about some groups as well. So the bike you ride, your name and the group, the part of the group you are.
So I'm Umesh. I'm riding like a V-Storm, and it's my first group and my first ride also.
Oh,
Just bought the bike like 3 weeks back.
new bike actually.
oh, that's nice.
Hi, my name is Kishore. I'm part of V-Stormers group, Bangalore. So I'm riding since almost 5-6 years. I was riding a Gixxer earlier, so I upgraded to V-Storm since 2 years.
Okay. So there's an exclusive group for V-Storm, like.
Yeah.
That's right. It's pretty much exclusive group for all the bikes. Right.
Okay, I'm
Nikhil from Bangalore. I used to ride Gixxer from past 7 years, and I'm part of Gixxer Club as well. And now from past 6 months, I'm riding Hero Expo, so I'm part of Hero Expo.
I'm from Bangalore.
Right, guys, here are the basics I want you to look at, concentrate. I'm sure most of you have gone through it. Like I said, again, most of the information is available online, internet, again. So, when you sit on the motorcycle, especially in off-road, which is very important, you know, the game starts from there. It all depends on how well you're mounted on the motorcycle. Okay? So there's a particular way that we'll start off with the sitting position and then we'll go to the standing posture. So sitting, be it any motorcycle, the naked style, the adventure bike, whatever bike you're riding, it's very important to sit closer to the tank, always, and grip the tank. I have seen a lot of riders, they ride with their knees open like this, not gripping the tank. The point of contact can differ in a lot of other bikes. Can be tank or some other, you know, fiber pieces or something like that. But the idea is to sit closer to the tank and grip it well. The first basic. And before that, I would say the feet on the foot pegs, you know, that is the primary idea. So you don't rest. We all have a tendency to keep our feet like this, resting the center part of the feet, so that it's easy to reach out to the controls, one thing. Or it's become a habit of ours that we are comfortable with this. So especially in the street riding, whatever we do, we need to be comfortable with the controls. So, you know, we always keep it like this. But this is not the right way that you keep your feet on the foot pegs. Let me tell you, the ball of the feet, which is the end of the fingers, the ball of the feet in the front, that is what you should be resting on the foot pegs. Okay, ideally when you wear MX boot or high ankle boots like this, so eventually when you mount the ball of the feet on the foot peg, the heel goes up like this. So you won't be able to, even if I won't be able to bring my heel down. There are two things to this. Better grip. The most number of the energy, the strength on the foot pegs comes from the ball of the feet. Okay, this is needed for you to, the idea is to give bike the more traction so that it stays grounded in off-road, so that it doesn't play around, it doesn't go left, right, even in slushy terrain, you know, whatever the conditions may be. So the idea is to keep the ball of the feet, and give it a little pressure on the foot pegs, especially when the bike unsettles. So that's when you apply pressure. So two things, one is to apply pressure, second, I would say human suspension. The ankles act like a suspension. You see this? So what happens if you're resting the center part of the feet? Any impact, the first impact that it will be is on the feet, on the ankle. So when I'm resting the ball of the feet, I still have a little bit of leverage. I still have a little suspension, that my ankle takes the suspension, then goes to my knees, hips, then to the upper body. Clear? So the idea is to play around with the lower half body. There's a lot of game that is played by lower half body, in off-roading especially. Okay? So your lower half body, your core has to be really strong in off-roading, because that's where you control the bike from. You don't control, I think, I would say 75% of the control happens from the lower half body, and the rest 25-30% is from the arms, from the upper body. So it's that important. So having the right feet position on the foot pegs is very important. So you rest the ball of the feet on the foot peg, sit closer to the tank, and your elbows always out. You never plant your elbows like this or drop your elbows like this. Even the back, for that matter, you keep your back straight. This is a basic body position that you sit, you mount yourself on the motorcycle. Clear? So when you sit, like I said, your elbows out, and try to get a triangular grip on the handlebar. It's never like this. I see some people have a bad habit of holding the handle here, riding it like this. I have seen a lot of them. They hold it here. I don't know what's the funda behind it, but you know, trust me, there's a lot of unlearning that will happen when you know the right technique. So you have to give it a little time. You have to practice. Only then it will come on time. Okay. So try to get a triangular grip. Obviously, when you try to get the triangular grip, your elbows automatically open up. When I say open, get your elbows out. You don't lift your shoulders. Again, most of the riders have a habit of lifting the shoulders like this to get the elbows out. A common tendency, a common mistake that I see. So the shoulders are always in place because the neck muscles, it's very easy to sprain this muscle. I'm sure as riders you all have experienced at any point of time, how easy your neck catches, there's a catch in the back and stuff. So it's important to let all the muscles of your body breathe. It's very important because eventually the idea is to become one with the bike. So without becoming one with the bike, you can never be a good rider. Or probably take it for a longer time, to ride for a longer distance. So it's very important to let all your muscles of the body breathe. So shoulders, coming back to the body position, shoulders intact in place, elbows out, triangular position, and the number of fingers on the levers is 1 or 2 or max 3 if some people don't find the strength to engage the clutch with 2 fingers, which is not the case in the modern motorcycles because it's quite friendly. So 2 or max 3. I see some of them holding all the fingers on the lever, so there's hardly any grip on the handlebar. Okay, 1 or 2 fingers max. Brakes, again, all the brakes the modern motorcycles have are pretty sensitive, so it just needs a feather touch. You don't need more than 1 finger on the brake lever unless you have to slam it hard, unless there's an emergency situation. Clear? Try to practice this, the sitting posture. I'll repeat it again. Ball of the feet closer to the tank, grip it, your back straight, elbows out, triangular position, 1 or 2 fingers on the lever. Clear? Any doubts? Bring it back. You don't always have to reach out to the control or rest your feet on the controls. I see most of them, they keep doing this. And when you wear bigger boots, riding boots, MX boots, you don't know when, you can't really feel the controls. Subconsciously your feet will be on the control that you'll not be knowing. So the idea is to avoid this. One of the reasons why we keep the ball of the feet is to avoid reaching the controls. We don't want to be reaching the controls all the time. Okay? So, without knowing, then you can shift the gear. Without knowing, you can be still holding the brake. Got it? So what you do is, you slightly move your feet, lift it initially, move, shift, bring it back. This is the idea. So going forward, once you practice this, once you master that, what we do is we just slip it like this, shift and bring it back. So in a race, probably I would be shifting the gears, I don't know, maybe 1,000 times, so every time we shift is this way. It's like a blink of an eye, we shift the gear. So you have to master this art. It will come, like I said, little bit of unlearning has to happen and little bit of seat time. So practice is more important. So you roll it down, initially you try to lift it, shift the gear and bring it back. You constantly don't have to keep shifting. So again, you have to be mindful of what you're doing in the track. So you have to be very precise. You know when you shift, when you should know when you downshift, when you upshift. So when there's a corner that you are approaching, then you shift down and then bring it back again. You're not keeping it on the gear lever. The same goes with the brake pedal. It's all in the head for us that our left corners are faster because we are able to reach out to the brake. The brake is in control, and that this is all in the head. So you can be equally fast on the left or the right corners. Same thing goes with the brake. Braking, yes, riding in the city, practically speaking, to get this thing right might take some time because the traffic is so bad, the conditions are so bad, you constantly have to hit the brakes. This is the practical experience. On the track, again, no, you don't need to do that. You keep the ball of the feet. But still, in the traffic also, you have to know what you're doing. So you have to be very focused You have to be concentrating on your riding position, riding posture, on the gear you are riding. Everything matters. So that's when all these things come into play. So try and practice this slowly. It'll come. Okay. So ball of the feet, locked, back straight, elbows out, hands in the triangular position, 1 or 2 fingers on the lever max, that's all, and elbows out. Clear? Another thing, it's very simple, but some of you have doubts, where do we look? How do we look in the track? Generally, I always say point your nose to the direction you have to go, you end up going there. Just try to point your nose to the direction, even in the corners. Again, there's a lot in off-roading, like the eyesight, you keep it at the farthest distance. That's how you try to go fast off-roading. There are a lot of things that going forward. So the point of contact again can differ in some of the bikes. It can be either tank, it can be, for example, if you're riding a Himalayan, I don't say Himalayan, if you're riding a Himalayan, you can't really reach out to the tank. So if you try to reach out to the tank on a Himalayan, that would be the incorrect position. The idea is to stand straight on the bike initially. When I say straight, from the feet till the knee, it has to be straight. Okay? Very common mistake most of the riders do is try to grip the tank or try to go front. This is the posture that you'll be like probably doing this mistake. This is not right. Like I mentioned, forget about the point of contact. The idea is to grip the bike. Whether you're gripping it from the side shields, whatever point of contact is, the idea is to grip it from here. And in simple terms, if I have to tell you, from the feet to the knee, it has to be straight. It has to be literally straight. Don't try to go front or bend it like this. Clear? And from the knees, you create an angle. This is my standing posture. You see what my angle is from the knee. So I'm my back is out, my hips are out, and my back is still straight. My elbows are out. Okay. Still, I'm trying to get the triangular position, the upper body, and this requires a little bit of practice because initially when you do it, your neck or your body, the back can pain initially. But the right thing to do is try to get the feet on the ball of the feet, on the foot pegs, grip it, try to get it straight first. Try to get, there's a way that we practice initially. Try to stand straight first on the motorcycle. Let go of the handle, forget everything else, clear your mind. So from the feet, straight, you're just standing straight on the motorcycle. Then grip it, then bend. Do this. Then reach out to the handlebar. It's very simple. So most common mistake that we see is this. Try to go here. This way, half of your weight is distributed in the front, and it's very easy to let the bike unsettle. So the idea is to grip it here. This maximum grip here is only probably 20% of the grip from my arms on the handlebar. That's all. Because most of the game is played here from the lower half body. This is important in off-roading. Clear? Unless we experience it on the track, it's a little difficult. So practice with more seat time, with more practice, this will come. This is the position. Okay, ideally when we do the lap now, so I want you to try both the positions, standing and sitting. So there are a lot of undulations in the track. Definitely you cannot sit and ride the motorcycle on those conditions because you're constantly hitting and it's very easy to get exhausted. Clear? So this is your attack stance. We also call it attack stance. When you're standing, gripping it, this is your attack stance. So with this, you're ready to take on any undulations, jumps, whatever. Okay? To achieve this might take some time, but it's also doable. Okay? One more point I missed is, both sitting and standing, your toes, try to point them inwards. Like this, inside. Tuck it. Most of the riders, a common mistake that we see, though they grip it nice, but they stick it out like this. This can be dangerous. This can lead to a lot of injury, can hit to the, one thing, and you won't be able to apply pressure on the foot pegs. The idea is to keep the bike planted to the ground by applying more pressure on the foot pegs. Naturally, the bike stays grounded. That's the whole funda behind off-roading. Clear?
See you soon.